critical thinkers, public speakers, and they debate.
We have doctors, we have nurses and midwives. But you're the one who read the article and said that, yes.
Introducing I Debate TV Championship, where the best schools in Rwanda battle against each other, resolving conflicts without resulting to violence, solving problems creatively using debate. I Debate TV Championship.
Hello there and welcome back again. It's episode 2 of the I Debate TV Championship. We're back with more schools that are going to be taking on each other and proving each other that they are wrong. For today's motion, we're having this house would ban unpaid internship. And of course, our proposition side is none other than Remera, Rukoma. Yes, and moving on to the opposition, the side that says you are wrong is Ifak. Yes, and always I'm David, your host. Our judges, the judging panel, is still Judge Dorin, Judge Tunga, and Judge Tifen. Yes, today is going to be an exciting one. These two sides will be proving us which one of them is indeed correct. I shall now leave this with the judges who will commence the debate. Thank you.
So thank you. Welcome to the I Debate TV Championship. So the minutes are 4 to each speaker and 2 for cross-examination. Good luck to all of you. Welcome the first speaker from the opposition side.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here by the names of Umubye Liza, the first speaker from Team Proposition. Today's motion states that this House would ban unpaid internships. I will start by defining the keywords. We have ban. Ban means to officially or illegally prohibit something. Unpaid, it means something that is unpaid. It means something that is undertaken without payment. And the payment today we are talking about is a certain amount of money paid or payable. The payment we are talking about today is payment that can be measured in monetary terms. For example, allowance fees, transport fees, and communication fees. We also have internship. Internship is the position of a student trainee who works in an organization to gain work experience. So the motion of today is to legally prohibit unpaid internships. And why should we ban the unpaid internships? Due to the following reasons. Inequality. It's causing inequality among the interns because not even all of them can afford the transport fees, the communication fees to do those internships. Another thing, it is exploitation. They are exploiting the youth for their own resources. They are using their own resources to do the internships, which means it's exploitation. Another thing we are talking about, it is a disadvantage to the full-time workers. If a person was being paid for working 10 hours per day, the business owner is able to bring an intern who is going to work the rest 5 hours, and the person will be paid for 5 hours, which means it's a disadvantage to the full-time workers. Another thing is that it affects the productivity of a business. If a person is working in a business knowing that they give him nothing, there's no payment, no nothing, they will not work as hard as they are supposed to. Another thing, it hinders the country's GDP and GNP, gross domestic product and gross national product, which there are so many people working and they're not earning anything. Going to our plan is going to be that there is a policy that has been put, which is called the Workplace Learning Policy, put by RDB, as I'm told by www.rbd in rwanda.org, which says that it has been implemented, but it has been put, but never been implemented or enforced. Our plan is going to be to implement this policy. This policy states that all interns are entitled to a stipend or allowance depending on the organization setup. So our plan is going to be that we are going to be conducting inspections in all organizations that have applied for interns and are going to be given interns. So the process that has been given by RDB is that all organizations are going to be applying for interns, and the interns are also going to be applying so that RDB is the one who is going to be placing them in all places. My second speaker will explain the plan well. We have to solve, we want to encourage the youth, we want to encourage productivity, we want to avoid the youth exploitation, and we want to give useful work that will help boost their skills. And the impact is going to have, we want more competitive and applicable graduates. We will get reduction of student loan debt. We will get improved graduation rates, gain valuable work experience, and help explore a career path. So what our main objective is, we do not want the interns to get a salary. What we want is for them to gain an allowance that will help them to cover their expenses, like those communication fees, their lunches. And our plan is not to put the paid. We want to ban unpaid internship and put the perfect middle ground internships, which is going to be given to all the interns. And that is our main objective. I rest my case.
Yes, so I have a question. Now, you talked about the GDP. Now, if we don't have money to pay the already working employees, where are we going to get the money to pay the interns?
What shows that there's no money to pay the already existing employees? Because if they are employees in a certain organization, in a certain business, they are employees because they are being paid. They are employed. They are being paid. So you cannot tell us that there's no money to pay them.
Okay, thank you.
What shows that the interns are not being paid?
Proof shows that the interns are not being paid, since, as I am shown by the www.cnbc.com, it tells us that 60% of the interns are still being unpaid. So we are so sure that most of the interns are not being paid.
Okay.
You say that they aren't provided allowance, but all interns, where they work, if an organization have ability of allowing interns, it have the ability of providing allowance. How would you possibly say that they don't provide allowance and they allow interns? How?
That is where I want you to bring credible information, credible sources that show that all organizations with interns are able to pay them and are giving them allowance. Thank you.
Let's welcome the first speaker from the opposition side, please.
Thank you very much. I'm by the names of Mugisha Moses from the opposition side. We are discussing about the motion calling this house would ban the unpaid internship. Payment, I'm going to first go in the keywords. Payment is being rewarded for a certain job that you are qualified for. Internship is a student or a trainee who works in an organization or a firm in order to gain work experience. Unpaid internship, this is the internship where interns who are not given monthly payment, but they are given their basic needs like food, transport, stipend as money for the motivation as they are in the process of learning. Stipend is a regular fixed sum of money paid for the goods and services for the motivation. Okay, first of all, I'm going to say that what they're saying is not true, because the interns are being paid, are being given their basic needs. And as the first speaker said, he said that they need the basic needs, they need the food, they need to be given them that. But I'm going to prove you that they're being given what they are requiring, they're already being given. So the motion is wrong. The debate is wrong, because what they are proposing is something that is already happening. My first point, even our government have helped the interns in the possible way possible. On the 7th March 2021, determining on the nature of the form of the internship contract, Capacity Development and Employment Service Board, CESB, this is the board that was made for the employment and internship, was made to ensure the complete and increased employability skills and to help the help of manifest, that's like an organization. All those institutes work together and wish to provide interns with all necessity services in order to achieve the internship objective. This shows that the government loves the interns. They have given them an organization to look for their needs. If you have a claim, you go there and they solve your claim. So even though there were a little bit of unpaid internship, even though we would want to pay our interns as you wish, there's a problem as we would not able to do that. Our country is poor. Our private and government sector is not capable to do that. Due to the 1994 war and the COVID-19, they have decreased the country's economy. Social fabric, human resource base, and institutions. Almost 90% of the population lives in less of two US a day, and half of the population live on the less of $1 per day. This is from the chronicpoverty.org. Wise people who are in this room, if we are going to start paying for the interns and continue to invest more, we are giving them the basic needs, but if we are going to give them more money, and without even solving the major problem of the poverty as a developing country, and invest in paying the interns, that would show that we are spending unwisely. Yet the interns are getting the experience because the interns came for the experience. They're getting the experience they came looking for. And their basic needs is being fulfilled through stipend and the claim that should be increased by the payment. Interns are being treated as kings and queens right now. That's what I'm saying. Let's put our focus on the most disturbing problems like COVID-19, unemployment, and poverty. That's the major problem.
What other than our plan do you think is going to solve all these harms that we mentioned above?
So what I said is we already have an organization to solve those problems, but they don't even exist. That's what I was talking about. So your plan is not, it's like you're complaining about the problem that have been solved. That's the debate is all about. We don't have a problem, so why do you have to solve it? Why do you claim? I have proved. But even though you would want to solve it, they're given their basic needs, they're given their rights. So why do we bother investing in those things? But they get the experience they came looking for. Don't forget the objective of being an intern. You came to get an experience, and you're getting the experience, plus the basic needs, plus the transport, plus the food that you're being given. That's what I'm talking about.
What is the difference? What do you think is the difference between unpaid internships and the perfect middle ground internships that we are talking about?
Unpaid, like there's the difference. Me as my perspective, I would say that if the picture that you are giving us, you are giving us that we have a lot of interns who are not being paid, which is not true. But even if they are there, they wouldn't have the transport, the stipend, and the food. That is the meaning of the unpaid internship. But if they have the basic needs, they have the stipend, they have all the needs that they have. They are being paid because even they're getting the experience. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's welcome the second speaker from the proposition side, please.
Thank you. I'm here by the names of Wasa Sulaina from the proposition side. The motion of the day states that this House would ban unpaid internships. Dear judges, unpaid internships. Meaning these girls are coming up with what we are advocating for. We are advocating these internships to come and get allowance, transport fees, just lunch fees, something like that. That is what we're getting. Because this is like payment. That's payment we are advocating for, because that payment is what we want. Unpaid means I'm not getting anything. Paid means I'm getting those allowance, food fees, and transport fees. That's what we want. And they come here while saying that there is no unpaid internships, what and what, but while they had no proof. Unpaid internships, they are there, dear judges. The people are doing this internship for nothing, just to get stamped that they had got. I have proof that many people are doing internships just to get that they got experience for nothing. While what we want is type of internship that called perfect middle ground. This is where we are advocating that this internship, we're not getting them to get salary because they are not yet employees. We're advocating them to get transport fees, lunch fees. That is what we're waiting for as payment for them as internships. And they're getting that we're spending unwisely. We're spending unwisely. That means we're spending the money where it is not needed to. This means, dear judges, what we have to consider is that these people are getting what they deserve, are getting what they're working for, are getting experiment with their basic needs. This is what we want as to be done as this what we're advocating for. As my first speaker explained about the plan that we heard is to burn unpaid internships, to burn this unpaid for those people who get nothing, to get some allowances, so that this money will be from project of development economic that is provided every year, like I have approved here, dear judges, that the 2 billion 700 million are provided for a development of each internships in the country every year. So this is what we're advocating for. As you have seen there is impact of unpaid internships. As you're working for nothing. How can a human being working for nothing? This is what we want to ban this. We want them to bring allowances to us. We want us to develop as we're getting experience, but we're also getting basic needs as what we want. And we have seen there's inequality. Dear judges, I'm from rich family. Wherever they put nothing to pay, wherever they put anything to pay, I'll just go and attend those internships. What about the poor one? The poor one will think, I will use my transport, I will use my what? Then I'm not going to just exploit my money for nothing, so that I'm going to save them and use another and do another things, which is not good for the government. And another thing is it affects productivity. As I know, I'm not going to do anything to get paid. So what I'm going to do whatever I want in business. So this will affect productivity. Another thing is like impact. It will be more competitive. As I know, I'm getting basic needs and experiment. I'll be competent to see that while I'm getting this experiment, I'm going to also be competent so that I'll be a great employee in the future maybe. And another thing, reduction of student loan debt. I will get loan to say that, let me get loan for transport fee I will use in this 6 months or 7. So what about when we want is to provide these allowances to these interns. And another thing is help explore career path as competitive as how we are going to deal with, as how we are going to motivate our interns. This is how we are going to advocate, and they go in hand with our plan that there is what we have to do. Thank you. I rest my case.
Okay, thank you very much. The second speaker. What assures us that if we follow your so-called brilliant plan you're talking about, we are going to have a positive result to solve, that your plan we're going to solve, that I mentioned above, like poverty, unemployment, and poverty and unemployment. What assures us that your plan is going to solve it, and who is going to solve it, and how, and when, and who is going to be solved too? Thank you very much.
This is precisely the point I was talking about. He asked how this plan is going to solve these all problems. As we have saw 38% poverty in Rwanda, the percentage of poor people. This is going to help these interns to get experience and competitive on job market. This will increase their employment because they get experience while they're getting their basic needs as what we're advocating for. So they will be employed because they have experience as they get their basic needs during their internships.
My question is, what's the proof that interns don't get those basic needs you're saying and allowances? What's the proof? What you're saying is that we are keeping on the status quo, and at the status quo, they are getting allowance, they are getting basic needs, which means you're changing nothing. Go ahead.
Thank you. It's not like I'm changing nothing. It's like I'm implementing the plan to be happen always as a must. This shows the best debater is the best listener, dear judges. We have showed you that more than 60% of interns are still unpaid. Going to the www.nabc.com. There's where we got the proof that 60% are not yet paid. they're not getting those allowances.
Did not answer.
Thank you very much.
Let's welcome the second opposition. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Imai Piavibana and I'm from the opposition side. Okay, first of all, I would like to ask I would like to first make something clear. My house doesn't believe that paid internship, even that percentage, that little percentage you guys are talking about, it does not exist because the money given to the interns is called stipend. Stipend for the basic needs, to cater for their basic needs. Now, if you guys are saying that, you guys are saying this, you guys are saying that that they should be given allowance and all that sort of things. Those are for their basic needs. And if a company is able to be approved to have interns, that means they should be able and capable to give those basic needs to their interns. And another thing is, let me tell you what the harm in approving paid internship will cause. It will increase unnecessary costs to the company. If the company has unnecessary cost, it will cause the company to even go underground and suffer bankruptcy. And it also undermines the value of the other worker. If a worker works for 10 years and it starts to be measured to an intern, that is very unfair for the person who has worked for 10 years. And another thing, it will also increase the number of unpaid workers. If you guys talked about the GDP, if you say that there are unpaid workers, if there are still unpaid workers, what makes you sure that we're going to get the money? Rwanda is poor. We have to admit, Rwanda is poor. What makes you sure that we're going to get the money to pay the interns if the already existing workers are not paid? And another thing, if we approve paid internship, it will increase the employment rate, which the employment rate, I just talked about the employment rate, it will decrease the employment rate of the already existing workers. If one company offers internship and the other one does not have paid internship, people will decide to go to the one that doesn't have paid internship because it will have a sure salary. No, but budget cuts. The company will start creating budget cuts and all that. And when it creates budget cuts, that means the salary will increase for already existing workers. You guys should think about those people. You guys are not thinking about the people. And another thing, you guys, your plan is the current status quo. What's the difference between your plan and the current status quo? The current status quo says that the interns will be given basic needs, and they are actors in giving these basic needs. There is NIP, National Internship Program, and MINAFET and Capacity Development and Employment Service Board. These actors help in the livelihoods of interns, and now you still want money. Why would you still want money if there's still money? If you get all these basic needs? And another thing, there is the law. Now our plan is to keep the current status quo because there's no difference. If something is bad, people change it and people start to complain, but there is no complaint, and there's a difference. And I would like to ask, okay, that will come up later. Okay. Now, the law states of the Ministerial Order number 2 of Mifotra issued on 7th March on 2011 of the appointing members of the National Labor Council of Article 20, which clearly states that it allows interns to have allowance to cater for their basic needs, those basic needs that you guys are talking about. There is the difference between money that they are given for other things, but those are for their basic needs. Now another thing, now let me talk about the impact about paid internship. The impact, it would affect both parties. If we both have paid internship, okay, I think that's all. My time is up. Yes.
Give us credible examples of the cons of paid internships. The disadvantages of paid internships.
Disadvantages of paid internship.
Give us credible examples that the paid internships have had.
A good debater is a good listener. I talked about this earlier. It undermines the value of already existing workers and already existing workers. You understand the examples of already existing the ones that already work and are in the job. It also decreases the number of unpaid workers. It decreases the number of unpaid workers because you guys are giving us points. The GDP. talks that the employment rate is low. The unpaid workers rate is high. Now, where are we going to get the money to increase to pay the interns? Next.
Can you differentiate between allowance? Because allowance, we're getting them as the payment because we did the internships. Is that not a payment?
You guys should educate yourself about allowance. Allowance is giving something to cater for some basic needs. Now, if the company is able to provide basic needs, you have these actors, the NIP, the SESB, all these actors. If they're there to provide they're there to help the interns. What else do you want? What else do you want, actually?
Implementation.
Huh?
We want to implement.
You want to implement the already current status quo. You're implementing the already existing status quo because their plan is just implementing something that already exists and it's working great. We are doing great. The country's economy is not going down. So I don't think why would we change something that is going great. So thank you. My name is Inoue Pialvibanan from Politicians.
Let's welcome the third speaker from the proposition side, please.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Moisha Diven, and I'm on the proposition side. What I want to start with is that this side is not understanding us. We are talking about the allowances, and those people that we are not talking about the salary. Yes, there is the policy which said that interns must be given allowances and all those stipends, but that policy is not followed. First of all, many people in the society, all of us here knows the experience. Many people who are internships pay for their transport fees, accommodation fees. First, that's reality. We are not talking about the person who worked for 10 years won't be measured to intern since the intern is given allowance, not salary. That person is already given a salary, and this intern is not given a salary. It is the fact that they are capable that not necessary to be paid. The interns are not paid. We are talking about the allowances. And I'll talk about the impacts. They'll be more competitive and employable graduates. If an intern is given allowance, that person will be at the workplace will be competitive in everything. There will be a reduction of student loan. First of all, these interns pay for their transport costs, accommodation costs, and everything, and that increases the student loan. There will be improved graduation rates. If a person is working at the workplace, happily given everything he or she is granted by the government, that person will have good graduation rates. Here, there will be gain valuable work experience. First of all, if the person is not given any payment, if someone goes to find an intern at the workplace, that person will be given anything, any work, and even if that is not he applied for. And here, if the person is given those allowances and stipends, the company will give him the valuable work which he or she wanted, and that will give the gain valuable work experience, and this helps to explore a career path. And that all these impacts will be solving this. This will encourage the youth. First, if the youth is given the allowances, first those youth will be working hard to find the allowances. There will be increased productivity to workplace. If someone knows if someone knows that if he goes to work, nothing or anything, that you'll get nothing at the workplace, that person will work as if he or she does not care. There will be decreased poverty rates in the youth. First, all these were supposed to costs. You can find someone working at different places, and those places will be far, and that will make him spend a lot of money on the transport costs, on the accommodation, on the food, and our plan will be implementing the already existing status by RDB, but that status is not implemented. It is not advocated, and we will be advocating for and implementing for this plan, for us in our plan. We have tested all of them in our plan. There will be equality among all interns. First, if there are this inequality, first, if someone else that will be given allowances, that person will come at the work. The poor and the rich, all of them will be equal at the workplace. They will be given useful work that will help them boost their skills. As I said on here, on the valuable work, if a person is given the useful work he or she applied for, that will boost his or her skills. Yes.
Question. What's the different, in your perspective, what's the different scale between an employee and an intern?
An employee has a contract. An employee is paid a salary, but an intern works per hours, like you guys said. That intern is given allowances and the stipends we're talking about, and that's the difference about between a worker and an intern.
What's the government doing wrong?
The government doing wrong.
What's the government doing wrong?
First of all, in many organizations in Rwanda, and in the banks, in everything, many interns are not given any of those in the government they're talking about. So the government has weak. The government is weak on this side of the interns, because many interns pay for their transport costs, accommodation fees, and their food costs.
We gave you a law which was implemented in 2011.
Yes.
How would you dare say that law was not implemented when even they created a board for them? We gave you the board which is called CESB, Capacity Development and Employment Service. How would you say that the government provided that law, provided that board for them? What's the proof that it's not implemented?
Here we are talking about reality. We're not talking about all those laws that are in the institution maybe. We're talking about the reality, about these people who are always going to internships and not given all those costs. We're not talking about the laws, and we are not saying that we are not meaning that we will set up a law. We will be implementing and advocating and already inspecting in those institutions where interns are working. And therefore, if somebody finds an intern, goes to the workplace, and that person will be given the allowances as because we will be inspecting and advocating for the allowances which are stated in the status we have said in RDB. So we are not setting up a law. We are implementing that law and making it strong for the people to get paid.
The law is implemented already.
Let's welcome the third speaker from the opposition side, please.
Hello, everyone. The name is Ifak. On the opposition side, I'm the third speaker. We're on the motion, this house would ban unpaid internship. This motion is a great motion because I think the proposer didn't get it well. I will go first by opposing what they said. Their first speaker said that a law was not implemented. And we gave them a law which was implemented in 2011, and also the government created a board for them in 2012, which is called CESB, Capacity Development and Employment Service Board. And they're saying that the law was not implemented. Why our country is a developing country? Our country has not gone down. Our country's economy has been rising, even if it's on a low rate. How would you say that that law was not implemented when interns, they get those stipends, you say, they get basic needs? When they don't get those basic needs, the government should close all companies that don't provide it, because it's its law, which was implemented in 2011. So that was irrelevant, totally irrelevant. Their second speaker said their second speaker said that they will continue the status quo, which was also our plan, so you may come on our side. By not taking my minutes, I would say we'll pass by the point we said, which was, our first point was showing you that the government already have a poverty problem which is facing. So we should have we should focus on that main problem, not focus on giving unneeded payment to those interns who are not even capable of doing the work well. The second point was showing you that the already problem of interns who are not getting internships and the rate of unemployment in Rwanda, which is 55.37, mentioned by my second speaker. If there is that rate of unemployment, it means when you increase the payments you give to the interns, it will increase, the number will increase. That was a harm. The fourth point was to show the source of income in our country is limited. We get it from agriculture, tourism, and other things we mentioned. So where are we getting more income in our country? What's increasing so that we may also increase for interns? They didn't say that. The fifth was to show you that the government created a board for interns. They all register so that that capacity developing and employment service board would search for them the internships, and also other interns who are still in schools help them get the internship. I don't know where you get that rate that interns are not getting internships. It's totally irrelevant. Our 6th point was the experts in the profession are being discriminated, because when we pay people who aren't capable of the work and there is a large rate which is not paid, it would be a great mistake we'll be doing. Thank you. I rest my case. The ground is open.
What you're saying is that the unpaid, it means when they go there and get the basic needs, they can't stay at home and get those basic needs. It means those basic needs they're getting, that is payment. That's what we want to implement. And what we have said that the plan is already there. Then what about this 60% of compliments we're getting through www.cnbc? Please search for that.
Okay, let me answer your question. You don't know the difference between payment and the basic needs they are provided. Payment, as saying by my first speaker, is being rewarded for a certain job that you are qualified for. An intern is not qualified. He's not capable of doing the work in a great way as an employee. Payment is given to an employee, not an intern. An intern gets stipend. That's mentioned by my second speaker. I thought a good debater was a great listener, but improve that. Second question.
What is the progress of the current status quo that you're showing us? Because you're showing us that the economy has grown, but the economy is a big thing. It has tourism, it has agriculture. You're showing us that the economy has grown. What proof do you have that it is these internships that is making the economy grow,
The proof that I have is that the government created this board for them, which means every intern is registered there and they search a job for him. He isn't not even the one to search the job for himself. Thanks, I rest my case.
So you have 2 minutes to prepare for the reply speech. Welcome the opposition side to give the reply speech.
Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm by the names of Mugisha Moses, and I'm going to give the reply speech. So, about the summary, what the proposition side was talking about is that they're having a problem of unpaid interns. They're not giving their basic needs as they quoted. So, the first speaker said, we don't want an intern to get the salary. We want to give them that they want to get their basic needs, which is already being implemented. Their plan does not have even a greater impact. They didn't show that even if we do their plan, how are we going to be impacted positively? And who is going to implement the plan, and on whom they are going to be implemented on? The proposition is complaining about something that already being implemented. There's an already existing board to care about the interns and their well-being and their welfare. We showed that we are poor on our status quo on the GDP, and they are even agreeing about that. But on the other side, they are being blindsided. They don't want to know that we are poor. They want us to invest more in the. They want us to invest more in the interns, while we don't even have the resources to invest in them. So if you are poor, if you don't have something to invest, there's nothing to invest. So why do you complain about that? So, okay, most of the case, I'm going to welcome the proposition side to our side, because their complaint is not very strong enough. We have showed that we don't have the resources. We have showed that their plan, they don't have someone to implement it. It doesn't have a big impact to the society. So that's why we are going to win this debate. Thank you very much.
Let's welcome the proposition side to give the reply speech.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back here to give the reply speech. So the main point of the opposition side was they were basically off topic because they came here defining unpaid internship as what we were naming perfect middle ground internships, where these people are given allowances and all these fees that we talked about. So which means they still they were talking about paid. They were not talking about unpaid internships. They were talking about perfect middle ground internships, and we showed them that, ladies and gentlemen, that unpaid internships still exist by 60%. They exist, and they did nothing about that. They kept on insisting that the current status quo is being implemented, that is being put into progress, while they denied the 60% that are still going through unpaid internships. They also said that they did not know the difference between payment and allowance. They said that they continue saying that there are no finances for interns. While, ladies and gentlemen, my second speaker showed you the book for where the finances are going. The book from the ministry which gives the money to the country. They gave you where the money is going to come from. They asked us what's the difference between employee and the intern, where we showed you the employee gets a salary, while the intern is going to be getting allowance, which means we expected the opposition to actually show us the current status quo they are advocating for, to show us that it has been implemented. They do not know the difference between putting a policy and implementing it. So the policy, we are saying that it has been put, but has it ever been implemented? No, because there's still existing 60% of the people who are going through unpaid internships. So their main point is that this policy that has been put has been implemented. They showed us no proof that this policy has been implemented, which means we take this debate because we have showed you that it has not been implemented, it has not been put into progress. They kept on saying that the country's economy is growing, but they never showed us the percentages of these internships growing. They showed us the economy is a big thing. It has agriculture, it has tourism, which means it's still a big thing. I rest my case. Thank you.
Welcome back again. It's the moment of truth. The judges have taken their time and they have decided. We're going to know who took the debate. But first, we have to see some commentary. The judges will say a few things they did notice on both sides. Judge Doreen, would you please care to elaborate? What criteria did you base on while doing the work?
So, thank you. The basis we put judging this debate was which side proved more the need to ban or the no need to ban unpaid internships. So basically, each side presented what they thought about the motion. The proposition claiming they wanted to add more advantage to the interns, and the opposition saying there was no need because it was already presented in the status quo. So what we did was weigh down which side had more claims and proof and warrant what they were saying. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. If you also have a few tips that you would give to both teams, I think you are a judge after all.
So the first thing I would give out, the first tip I would give out would be that there's this common thing that has been going on of giving statistics as an argument, and statistics is supposed to be proof. I believe it's supposed to be proof. So if you're to create an argument based on statistics, you first give a claim, then put the statistics and then warrant, and that's one thing that was common, a mistake that was common here. So I basically believe that's a major mistake I see that could be corrected or improved the next time. But all in all, it was a great debate. Thank you.
Well, I hope the sides have learned their lesson. Now, the moment of truth. Are you guys ready? Proposition side, are you ready? It's not going to be an easy one, but hey, we have to pick a winner. So, the judges will now hand me a paper that contains the winners. All right, so you are 100% sure this is true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode 2 of the iDebate TV Championship, the winners are the opposition side for Ifak. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. And of course, to the proposition side, you guys did a wonderful job to also debate, and that was marvelous. A round of applause. They took the debate home, and I can imagine that their adrenaline levels must be pretty high right now. I'm here with the opposition side, Ifak, and of course we're going to ask them a few questions to see how they are feeling. Guys, so how does it feel to have taken this first round?
We did it now.
Yes, you
So
did.
we feel great.
You feel great. So what did you use to actually win this debate? It was a very hard debate. The proposition side did lay some pretty good arguments, but what did you do to actually take this home?
Well, we focused on the needs of the society, so I think that's pretty much our tactic, the strategy we used. Now, they're a really strong team, so I even doubt that we'll actually won, so they're
Well, I can tell you this, you did win. So my last question before I leave you guys is what can we expect from you guys over the coming days?
Okay, in few words, the Ifak debate team we are showing that we are around, we are available, we are a growing team, we are ready to win. So expect more than this because we are going to be preparing for the next war or the break.
Well, thank you guys, and of course, best of luck in the upcoming tournaments. Well, that is a wrap. It was an awesome debate with lots of interesting arguments, and I hope you have learned a thing or two. Now, this is a wrap for this episode. I hope you will be there next time, because I will. My name is David. Until next time.